Morning guys from Jersey, Premier in Jersey obviously. Today I was thinking about taking some bus trips around the island, just checking out the bus service, see what it's like, where it can take us and how much it's going to cost. And I got to the island last night, and of course it's not in the EU, it's not really part of the UK in terms of mobile phone charges and service. So I had three options really. I could just pay for whatever I used, I could buy an eSIM, or I could just forget about the mobile phone and just pick up one of these from the bus station and just kind of go old school really, use a map, figure my way around the island. I've got no plans, I'm going to have a look at this and see where I end up and shoot some video on the way. Why not? So that's what I'm going to do. So forget about Google Maps and all that kind of stuff. Let's use this, see where we end up, and I'll catch you on the bus. Let's go. Right guys, so I made my way down to St Helier's Liberation Station, which is the island's principal bus station, located on the esplanade near to the harbour front. Now it doesn't look much like a bus station from here, does it? But the buses are kind of going further down the street and then they emerge from this gap by the toilets here. There are some stands outside for the double-deckers, which are obviously too tall to fit inside. Walking inside, there's a cafe to your left and you have numerous departure displays hanging from the ceiling. I purchased a one-day Discover Jersey pass, which was £8.50, and that got me on all the buses as you would expect. Now, at the time of this video there were 21 bus routes, I think, all seemingly departing from and arriving back at the St Helier hub, and it was really just a case of figuring out where I wanted to go first. Well, I chose route number 1, why not, which would take me along the coast to Gorey village, and so I made my way to stand C, where the bus would depart from. Now on some of the stands you can't really see whether your bus is here or not, and the doors just sort of open up at a particular moment in time to reveal the bus waiting for you on the other side. And it kind of makes sense, though it does give it a bit of a what's behind the magic door kind of feel. Anyway, upon boarding you just scan your ticket under the reader, it makes a beeping sound and you're good to go. Alright mate, just hold that under there, do I? Yeah. Alright, cheers, thank you. I found a seat just before the bus became swamped with school kids off on a trip to Gorey. First impressions were average, to be honest. Right, I've just got on my first bus, I have no idea what sort of bus. The number 1 that goes to Gorey Pier, apparently. Full of school kids. So hopefully that'll be a bit calmer after this one. We'll see how we go, I suppose. We emerged from the bus station and headed out past Liberation Square and along the harbour front. The bus, by the way, was an 11-year-old Optare Solo SR, according to the web, and we plunged into what must be the only road tunnel on the island, which took us underneath Fort Regent and then further east along the A4, stopping several times along the way for no apparent reason. The bus driver stopped because like the kids are on the bus and they keep pressing the bell. So we're like stopping at random places. So they've just been told off by their teachers. So hopefully we don't have to do that many more times. Otherwise we'll be on this bloody bus all day. Alright, let's have a look at some of the sights. Gorey and Gorey Castle, which is just up there. Yeah, so that was my first experience on Liberty buses on Jersey in an Optare something or other. Yeah, oh god, they're coming this way, ram-packed with school kids. But you know, there you go. Got to get around the island, haven't they? Obviously, can't afford their own bus. But yeah, Gorey looks pretty nice. We're gonna have a bit of a look around here, and I'm gonna head back to the bus stop and see where the next bus takes me. Yeah, I had a wander around the harbour for a bit. I didn't follow the kids up to the castle, which may or may not be pronounced Monorgai, but it looked nice, and if I'd have had more time, I definitely would have paid it a visit. As it was, though, I had another bus to catch, so I made my way back to the bus stop just in time to get on the next one. Right, the 13 service, which takes me back into St Helier, which I think is the best bet for the moment, and then we're going to go out again from there. There's bigger bus, this one as well. Right, so the number 13 service actually comes from Jersey Zoo via Gorey, and according to the map it takes us inland then back to St Helier. I won't show this less interesting route in much detail here, but yeah, once I'd made it back to the hub, it was time to take my next bus, which would be the 12A service out west to Corbiere and its fantastic lighthouse. This was on another smaller Optare, so yeah, as you can probably gather by now, there's not a great deal of variety on offer so far. But then, yeah, I guess these buses are very much suited to the terrain of what can be quite narrow lanes in parts, and it reminds me of another trip I took in 2022 on Optare Solo in Pembrokeshire, and I'll link to that video up here if you're interested. And as we make our way here along St Aubyn's Bay with the fantastic island fort in the distance, I'll tell you a little bit about the bus service itself. Now, since 2013, the island's buses have been run by HCT Group and now Kelsian Group, which is not very interesting in itself, is it? But following a public vote around about the same time, the service was branded LibertyBus, which is far more appropriate considering the island's history. And by late 2022, the fleet size totalled 58, and mainly Optares like the ones I've been travelling on, but excitingly, a few double-deckers as well. I don't expect to find USB charging or Wi-Fi or anything modern like that. The buses are functional and they'll get you from A to B with a frequency based on the popularity of the destination, I think, though I assume that does vary depending on seasonal demand. Cheers, mate. It took nearly 45 minutes to get to Corbiere. There was some fantastic scenery en route. Yeah, I was really looking forward to getting off and exploring the area for a little bit. Corbiere. I'm just going to have a walk down to the lighthouse now. Quite a few people on that bus, another small Optare something or other. So yeah, the lighthouse is just down there. I don't know how you get to it. Just going to kind of walk down this road, I think. Although everybody else seems to be heading the other way. Corbiere Lighthouse is certainly an evocative place, isn't it? First shining its light in 1874. And I reckon it's probably one of the most photographed places on the island. But there's much more to this destination than the lighthouse itself, with some really interesting fortifications from the German occupation of the islands in World War II. And the other thing is, a lot of these old bunkers, like this one, are accessible to the general public too. And some of the internal rooms have been recreated to emulate what life must have been like during the war, and the Channel Islands Occupation Society provide information on opening times if you want to go and have a look at some of these yourself. I finally made it down to the sea for some more fantastic views of the lighthouse, but yeah, due to the tide I couldn't really get much further today without getting my feet wet. Right then guys, yeah, so there is a causeway across to Corbiere Lighthouse, but obviously it's going to be a while until that's usable, and I'm going to be on another bus soon. Interestingly, this was the first concrete lighthouse in the world. I read that on a plaque just up there in case you thought I actually knew what I was talking about. A very nice picturesque spot though, so yeah, I'm glad I came here. And the bus that you need, I think the 12 or the 12A and the 22, which is looks like a double decker, will get you down here. I'm going to catch the 22 next and head up the coast a bit. I'll see you back on the bus. Okay, so the bus highlight of the day for me arrived, and it was this Scania N230 UD Omni City double-decker on Route 22, which would take me up the west coast as far as Letac. Now, interestingly, when I googled the number plate to find out what this bus was, it was previously registered as YR59NPN, operating around Greater London. Probably one of several that ended up over here, I suspect. Yeah, again, I scanned my ticket under the reader and made my way up to the top deck. Mainly tourists on this bus, like me, and unsurprisingly, the front seats were already taken. It was otherwise quiet though, and I sat on the left-hand side to get some more fantastic views as this massive bus negotiated the tiny lanes and sharp bends down to what must be the largest stretch of sand on the island, St Owen's Bay. So we arrived at Letac, and I'm not sure what I or any of the other passengers were expecting to find, but there was like literally nothing here. In fact, the driver had to tell us when we'd arrived, as everyone just sat on the bus thinking, is this it? They all decided to stay on the bus and go back to where they'd come from, but I didn't see the point in that. So after consulting the map, I went and had a chat with the driver and thought, well, at the time anyway, it would make more sense to get off here, walk up the hill and rendezvous with another bus service, the number 8 at Leoville. Well, I've just left the bus at Letac. Well, I thought there was going to be like a small village. Well, there's like nothing here at all. But he said you can walk up the hill and there's you can catch another bus, another service, another service up there somewhere. So which is fine, isn't it? I don't want to stay on that bus and go all the way back. What's the point in that? Everybody else did, but no, I'm up for a bit of adventure, providing it doesn't rain. So wish me luck, and in about a quarter of an hour I reckon I'll be at the top of this hill and we'll be waiting for another bus. Well, things didn't quite go to plan. As it turned out, the bus frequency on this particular route was about 1 every 2 hours. So yeah, I just carried on walking, taking a few photos along the way. Right guys, Leoville. I walked from Letac up the bank, down some country roads to get here. Only a couple of miles really. And I'm just waiting for the last bus to take me back into St Helier. The bus stop's just there on the road. And I reckon 20 minutes we'll get something all coming, according to the timetable anyway. I'm not that sure. I'm not sure how far I walked because, like I said earlier on today, I'm not using Google Maps or anything. I'm just using the paper map. But yeah, it's all good. I needed the exercise, so I'll catch you on the last bus of the day when it turns up. See you in a bit. Okay, so the last bus of the day for what turned out to be the number 9 route from Greve de Lec on the north coast down to St Helier. Guess what? Was another optair. I was pleased to see it was on time and it just started raining, and the route incidentally calls in at the airport, as does the number 22 I'd been on earlier, and the airport also has its own dedicated service, the number 15, which I would be taking the following day. It took about 35 minutes to get back, and looking at the map, I reckon you can probably get anywhere on the island from St Helier in about 45 minutes. Frequencies vary, and maybe stick to the most touristy routes if you don't want to be waiting for a bus for 2 hours. I did wonder whether there was a circular route operating around the coast perhaps, that you can hop on, hop off throughout the course of the day, and then that means you don't have to go in and out of St Helier all the time. There doesn't seem to be one on the map, but do let me know if such a thing exists or not. Price wise, I think £8.50 for unlimited bus travel in one day is reasonably good value for money. And the buses, well, they're not the most modern fleet in the world, are they? But they're doing a decent enough job, I guess. Cheers, mate. I made my way back to the hotel. Before heading down to the bar for a well-earned drink, I just took a minute or two to sum up the experience. Right then guys, back at the Premier Inn in Jersey, and the Jersey buses, Liberty buses. And what did you think of them? The scenery is fantastic, isn't it? Heading out to Gorey this morning, the weather was good as well, and then coming back to St Helier, and then past St Aubins, on to Corbiere and Letac. Fantastic scenery. The buses themselves, I think they need a little bit of updating, to be honest with you. There's not much on them. There's no USB connectivity or anything like that, and little things like that. They do make a difference. And I didn't really see any newish buses. I don't know if there are any in the fleet. Pretty old really. But like I said, the scenery made up for it. And I would advise anybody, if you come in here and having a look around, to get a day pass or maybe a 2-day pass. In terms of routes, there are plenty of routes on the island, and the frequency is not too bad either, unless you're going to some of the really remote spots, which I did actually do later on in the day. Overall not bad, and the scenery makes it, doesn't it? Thank you very much for watching anyway, and I will see you on another adventure soon. Until then guys, cheers for now.